poem from this book, Tuwing Ikatlong Sabado, every third Saturday. So this poem is entitled Every Day by Serge Gabriel, which is the very first poem I heard from or read from this book, because the person who introduced this book to me, this was the first poem that he introduced me to. So it's really, there's some sentimental value in this poem. It's really sweet. It's a really sweet poem, but you know, not every sweet thing lasts. So here we go. Every day. This may be the unpopular opinion, but when people ask me, what's the most romantic thing you can give to another person? I always just have one answer. Every day. The same blank stares and faces usually greet me when I give that answer, because every day isn't romantic. It's not as good looking as its older brothers, always, forever, and until the end of my life, which managed to make it to the end of every I love you uttered in this world. I love you always. I love you forever. I love you until the end of my life. But I love you every day? No one ever says that. Every day isn't romantic because every day is concrete, and concrete scares people. Every day gives you the Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and always only tries to promise. It gives you the Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. A forever only tries to give. But though this is the unpopular opinion, I do think every day is romantic. And if it's fine, I think I would love to give you that to you someday. If it's fine, I think I would love to give you every day. If it's fine, let me love you. And if you do, I promise you no more mundane moments in your life. Not to say that every date that we will ever have will be filled with fireworks lighting up the night sky. No, I don't have enough money for that. But when I mean no more mundane moments, I mean dinner will never just be dinner. Conversation will never just be conversation. And when I utter the words I love you, I will mean them from the bottom of my heart. Let me love you. And as geeky as this sounds, I will choose you the same way I chose my first Pokemon. People think it's funny when I compare love and Pokemon, but I don't think it is. I mean, really? Isn't love a lot like fire, water, and grass sometimes? Isn't it like fire? When you see that person entering the room for the first time, doesn't it feel like there's an actual burning sensation in your chest that tells you, I have to be the very best? And when you finally get to talk to that person, doesn't it feel like a scratch, a slash, an ember, a flamethrower, a fire blast, a seismic toss, even hitting you all at the same time? Isn't love like water? Just like our bodies, doesn't it make up most of the world already? But that's not good enough for us. Don't you drink it? Don't you dance with it? Don't you shower in it? When it freezes over, don't you skate on it? Isn't love like that? Aren't we made up of mostly love? But that's not good enough for us. Don't we love giving out love? Don't you dance when you're in love? Don't you die without being in love? Doesn't love give us life? Isn't love like grass? Isn't it just everywhere you look even though you never notice it? Isn't it just there even though you step on it a lot of the time? Isn't it beautiful to watch something grow from something so small to something so big? And when it dies slowly, doesn't a small part of you die with it too? Let me love you. And I promise I will love you the same way I loved my first Pokemon. Let me love you. And whenever you're sad or happy, sleepy or hungry, or strangely, all of the above, I will be there for you. And when you're thirsty, I will be there to quench your thirst. Not just with love, but with water or wine, or if you're like me, iced tea. Let me love you. And the only thing you ever have to be frightened about are the horror movies that we will watch together. I promise I will only close my eyes when you aren't looking. Let me love you. And even though it's physically impossible to own a ring as big as Saturn's, I want to be able to show the world that my love for you will go beyond this one. Let me love you, because I think you're like the sun. Because I think you're brilliant, you're bold, and you're beautiful. This may be the unpopular opinion, but when people ask me, what's the most romantic thing you can give to another person? I always just have one answer, every day. So if you let me, if I may, let me give you all these days. If you let me give you all my Mondays. And I promise you no more mundane moments in your life. Let me give you all my Tuesdays. And I promise you, I will choose you the same way I chose my first Pokemon. A little unsure at first, unbelievably excited, and like it was the greatest decision I would ever have to make in my life. Let me give you all my Wednesdays. And whenever you're feeling anything at all, I will be there for you. Let me give you all my Thursdays. And I promise to quench your thirst, not just with drink, but with love. Let me give you all my Fridays. And the only thing you ever have to be frightened about is being the most loved person in the world. Let me give you all my Saturdays, because I want to give you Saturn, this earth, my entire universe even. Let me give you all my Sundays, because I think you're like the sun, because I think you're brilliant, you're bold, you're beautiful, you're alive, and you give me life. This may be the unpopular opinion, but when people ask me, what's the most romantic thing you can give to another person? I always just have one answer: every day. So if you'll let me, if I may, let me give you all these days. And if you'll let me, if I may, if I'm not in over my head, I do honestly hope you'll let me start no day but today.